Right. We talked about GLP-1s last time we were on here, and I saw a reel that made me think perhaps we're asking the wrong question. She said, listen, think about how crazy it is that our food is so toxic and makes you so sick that we had to create a medication that makes people stop eating it.
Yep.
Because, and we said this last time, a lot of people say that the best thing they feel on the GLP-1s is the food noise is gone. It's an appetite suppressant. They're not worried about eating all the time.
Yep.
They're not like worried about eating chicken breast all the time, right? They're worried about eating all the processed junk. Like nobody's like, man,
Yep.
I just can't stop thinking about eating chicken. Like that doesn't happen because it's the foods that we've created as humans that are the problem. She said, she made an analogy. She said, that's like saying the water coming out of the tap is toxic. So instead of fixing the tap, let's make a medication that makes us not thirsty. Like you would die without water if you were taking a medication to make you not thirsty. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of.
But the
I'm trying to
fact
follow
that
that analogy because the water from the tap is unhealthy,
yeah,
and they make filters for it. But I think the deeper problem is instead of questioning which filter is best because a plumber said so or because you saw it online, we're not asking why the fuck do I need a filter at all.
yes. And I saw that. I'm like, shoot, we're asking all the wrong questions. It's not about
Yeah.
whether you should or shouldn't take a GLP-1. It's about why do they exist in the first place in the space of weight loss?
Right. That's the key is in the space of weight loss because there's
Right.
always going to be a reason for a new medicine. If we took out all of the money and shit, aside, it's $1 billion business. Big pharma, big
Yeah.
food, all of it. So
And
there's always a reason. I mean, you know what I mean? Like why the fuck why is there sports bras? Why is there, running shoes? Why are there boxer briefs? Why are there, spandex shorts? Why? There's always a lot of the times we reverse engineer shit based on experience. And that's a big fucking thing. Experience is the most underrated form of education in an overly misinformed society. I think that's a big one. Because it's always people mistake experience from insight that comes from somebody else who hasn't experienced what they're trying to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why are you asking advice from broke ass motherfuckers if you're trying to be rich?
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we always go back and reverse engineer from experience of how to make something easier or better or more efficient and so on just to get the desired result. You slow on the football field? Cool. Maybe stop running in flip-flops. Let's figure this out. Bet. What if there was a way I could have shoes that had like teeth in them? Oh, cleats. Bet. Reverse engineered. So I guarantee you my fucking caveman wasn't running around with no Under Armour Vipers on. You know what I'm saying?
no.
They're out there barefoot.
And they didn't have they didn't have water filters either.
Right. Right. But that was before, or supposedly before, there was elite evil motherfuckers trying to run shit. But this is a conspiracy hole theory rabbit hole deal. That's a whole other conversation.
But here's the thing, though. Again, how did we go from a place where real, whole, pure food is the exception instead of the default? Like, how did we get to a place where understanding that ultra processed food is ruining your body and that the companies who own it, like, that's not a conspiracy that's like real life. I don't understand how we went from how that is now the crazy person, the crazy conspiracy person who's worried about food quality instead of like the norm. You should be worried about food quality.
Because people began to question everything, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Like the hot topic nowadays is Fauci's fucking pleading fifth fucking ass. Cool, whatever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The
Yes.
problem with questioning everything, if you don't believe in anything, is you start to accept anything that's new and novel. And it's not a coincidence that there happens to be paid influencers fed to you from an algorithm that listens to you. But even then, that's not the problem. What if we went deeper than that? Then it's, why is that okay? Which is your question. And it's this is the byproduct of what happens when you're desensitized. You're asking for information, boom, you're going to get information. Could be right, could be wrong, but do you really care? Because you feel like you matter now. You feel like it's a novel thing that all of a sudden what you say, that there's somebody else in the world that agrees with you. Motherfucker, there's 8 billion bitches up in this motherfucker. Somebody's bound to agree with your stupid ass. I mean, that's not
Well,
a miracle. That's math.
yeah.
Right?
And
I mean, Epstein files are out. Nobody's fucking locked up. Same thing with Diddy. Same thing with Trump. Same thing with Biden. Same thing. Fucking Fauci's up there. We got, and it's like aliens are proven. Cool. Who the fuck? What? Like nobody cares. Now, take any part of this shit that we're going through right now. Any part of it. Dump it back into 70s, 60s. Maybe say 50s or even 80s, I'll say, because them 60s and 70s, the motherfuckers were tripping. You know what I'm saying? 80s, they were just all getting AIDS and whatnot, fucking around, which, of course, who was behind the drug to fix AIDS? Fauci. But people forget that because motherfucking young bucks, they only think what happens now is all that's ever happened. Stupid. So if you take what's happening now, and can you imagine if you were to say people fucking stay 6 feet apart in the 50s? Motherfuckers be like, what? Okay. What?
yeah.
But then you'd find people that generates with fear and all this other shit, dependency comes opportunity. There you go. I mean, if you create the demand, coming up with the supply is easy. And it's easy to figure out how to penetrate that marketplace when you're the one who created it.
Well, yeah.
So,
when food is looked at as a business rather than a mode of survival, it all gets jacked up. And on top of business, then you mix politics in there, and now you just double fucked it up.
How many people, though, eat food and say, I got to eat this to survive? Even if it's healthy. No, they don't do that. Motherfuckers eat because they're hungry. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference in mentality. You're not wrong.
Yes.
You're hungry, you eat. Cool. Right? But you'll live longer. You can live longer in any, 10 to 14 day period if you're drinking water versus not having food. You can go much, much longer without food than you can water. Mm-hmm. And of course, the water supply via tap, fluoride, and sky spraying, and whatever the fuck's in the soil and all this other shit. Like, what can you even trust the source anymore? I mean, I think the people who, that's the hardest part I'm having with it all is like, okay, what is healthy food even nowadays?
Well, yeah, and that's what started this conversation to begin with, because, anyone who might hear this or the clients that we have, I mean, even me, I've done it before, where you're like searching up healthy recipes or like, you know what I mean? You're searching up healthy recipes. And that begs the question, what does healthy even mean? And initially, your first thought is, or my first thought is, in the industry that we're in, is one that's got the right balance of macros, one that fits whatever goal you have.
Well, balance of macros is a routine in a diet. That's not balance of,
right,
you know what I'm saying? You're talking about the individual foods or talking about whole practice?
I'm talking about like a meal. Like when I'm Googling healthy meals, or when I have a client looking up healthy meals, the first thing I look for in a quote unquote healthy meal is that the ingredients are all as close to whole food as you can get, and that the macros are balanced, because very often you Google healthy recipe and it's got way more fat than it's got protein, or it's loaded up in carbs, or there's no protein in it at all. And so that to me is not a quote unquote healthy meal because it's imbalanced, right?
Yep.
But then you have to start asking about what actually constitutes a healthy food or a whole food, right? Because even I saw another one that said the guy had a potato, French fries, and a bag of chips, and he said all three of these foods are processed. The potato is a whole food. You wouldn't think it's processed looking at it, but almost all the food in America is genetically engineered. That makes it processed right
Yep.
there. You made that potato out of a lab instead of its purest form, right?
I'm looking
You
for
cut
one
it
of
up
those
and you put
quotes
it in
that
French fries
was
and
explaining
fry it.
how I forget which one is. I thought I sent it to you. I don't have it saved, but when they talk about how they just slap a green leaf on it.
Yeah, I know which one it is. I'll find it.
I can't find the
But then
fucking
the
thing.
French fries, they take water out so you can eat a bunch more of them. You don't get full as fast. Obviously, that's processed. And then the chips are like ultra processed.
Mm-hmm.
You slice them up, you you fry them again, over and over again. You slap all the flavor on it, and now you've got three different processed foods from a potato that was already processed to begin with.
Right.
Like, can you constitute that as healthy? I don't know.
I don't. I used to think that as long as there's in any debacle, there's always hope if you can come up with a solution, even if it's far fetched or extraordinarily difficult or seemingly impossible. If you can at least come up with a solution of any sort to any given problem, then there's hope. And in the food and a healthy marketplace in this life, it's, well, shit, I could always, people can't afford housing is the most expensive it's been. Rates are most expensive it's been in over a year. The new median household, or the low $100,000 incomes, supposedly are now the new lower middle class. I get it, but it fucked me. It baffles my brain because I saw digging through my mom's old shit, and I saw the mortgage note from my house I grew up in. And as a kid, you don't know shit from anything. But when I saw that my townhouse that I grew up in that was home to me was only 80 grand, like my fucking truck is 80 grand. You know what I mean? So when you put that in perspective, it's like, fucking hell, what happened?
What
And
happened?
so I could say, I don't trust the foods. Cool. I'll fucking farm my own shit. I am not a fucking farmer, first of all. But
No.
again, far fetched as it may be, if there is a solution, then there's hope. But then I question, well, shit, if they're spraying skies with shit and the soil is contaminated, what am I going to do? Well, you can go and buy fucking fresh dirt. Can I, though? You don't think they thought of that? What
Yeah.
the fuck? What am I going to water this with? Can't use the fucking rainwater. Can't use tap water. What am I going to do? We'll go get bottled water. How the fuck do we know that the bottled water is just not, quote unquote, filtered and
And
processed
it's in
itself,
plastic.
and then it's thrown in fucking plastic? Like so this is a rabbit hole that has a lot of solutions, but there's always a fucking roadblock.
There's always a question. For every solution, there's 5 more questions.
And so they rely on you to just accept one thing and run with it and keep your mouth shut and move on.
Yeah. I found the quote you were talking about. It says, "We don't need the food to be healthy, Ted. We need the box to look green." If you put a picture of a leaf or a valley on a box of high fructose sludge, the human brain automatically registers it as from nature. Marketing isn't about the product. It's about overriding the consumer's survival instinct. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm telling you, I even went to ChatGPT and I looked at ChatGPT. I asked it, what are the most shocking facts about the way America produces food versus other areas of the world, both in the farming and factory industries, like from both sides of it. And the way ChatGPT spun this shit, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it made me want to Google who funds ChatGPT and what connection they have to the fucking food industry. It was insane. It was like, yes, we are chickens. We produce more chicken than anyone else, and our chickens are 3 times as big as anyone else. But myth, it's not because of hormones. It's because we have optimized the way that we raise chickens. It kept using that word optimize. Farms, our farms produce way more food, but it also has to travel farther. So we use technology and it said technology and genetics in order to make the food longer lasting to sustain long rides, to make it uniform because corporations like McDonald's want same size lettuce, same size potatoes, same size everything. And so we have optimized it so that everything can be more standard. I was
Fucking Hunger
like,
Games,
my jaw
man.
was dropped.
Yeah,
Isn't that
sounds
insane?
like fucking Mark of the Beast type shit. Come get your rations. Scan your wrist and come get your fucking 3-ounce piece of lettuce leaf.
I mean, you found all of these, like there were 10 of them or something?
Yeah, something.
All of these, like, quotes from movies and documentaries
TV shows.
and all this stuff.
Hidden in plain fucking sight.
About,
Masked as
yes.
entertainment.
And they all say some version of the food industry is designed to trick people. Every single one of them said something along those lines.
And they know we need it because we need to eat or we die, right? We need to drink or we die. I mean, is that not a supply and demand 101? Is that not business 101? And what about phones, Chris? How do they get you to buy $1,000 phones? Well, the better the phone, the better the engagement to all of the newest material, all the newest education. Keep up with what's going on in the world. Then that way you stay informed. All the while you're not paying attention to shit.
Yeah. Because you
can't tell the forest from the trees.
Algorithms condition you to see the same things so many times that you don't even think to question it because you see it so much. It's like, well, of course it's true.
So what do we know? We know that fast food is just fucking convenient. It ain't no way you can leave a fucking McDonald's burger sitting in your trunk and that shit don't age a day. Okay. I've bought sherbet ice cream because sherbet's not ice cream. What is sherbet?
Well, it's supposed to be.
It's not ice cream, but it's like a frozen treat.
Fruity custard. Yes.
Okay. So just for conversation's sake, I'll call it a fucking ice cream, whatever. So I used to love sherbet, right? And then sherbet. And then one day, Lindsay had bought one and forgot it in the car. And everything melted but the green. This is summertime Oklahoma when it's got a heat index of die motherfucker die at 6 a.m. And I asked her, like, oh, did you get any sherbet? She goes, yeah. Oh, fuck, I got it in the car. I go out to the car, and that motherfucker's like, wait a minute. Ain't supposed to be like that. Everything's fucking enough. It was a colorful soup with a fucking green-ass glacier, just not fucking melted. Like, what the hell?
Ew.
And I'm over here like, fuck, green was my favorite.
I wonder why.
No, I know. Exactly. Yes. Yes. And
because they put the shit in the green.
Yes. And my favorite food in Skittles, my favorite candy for Skittles, green favorite. And they took it out, put green apple. And then all of a sudden, sales dropped. Green comes back. Lime comes back. Yeah. That's right. My whole fucking world is a lie. I'm over here like, oh my God, I just want some continuity, And all I'm getting is a continuous level of disappointment. Fuck me. I read, you could read the labels and it'll tell you made from, genetically
Bioengineered.
bioengineered. And,
Yeah.
and when you start reading, if you go down that path, you'll find everything you're eating is probably came from somebody's couch, and you're fucked.
Gross.
There's a Haagen-Dazs is trying to play it off. They have certain pints, smaller ones that says ice cream. The gallon, the little gallon tubs for ice cream, yeah, frozen dessert.
Yes.
You motherfucker, you. But we don't. Do we read the labels? Not. Why? Because
not.
we're
Ice cream.
enamored by the fucking packaging. So when you think about, again, back to your choices with food, what are your options? Because people judge choices without ever knowing what your options were, right? They judge your decisions but don't know what your options are. Fine. So what are our options? We can either grow our shit and hope that the soil and the air is fine, and that's probably your best fucking option, but you're not a goddamn farmer. So what you can do is support local farmers that are fucking farmers. It don't take much to grow your own produce. It doesn't take much to grow your own vegetables. It doesn't, is it expensive? Is it tedious? Yes, of course it is. And that's the best, quote unquote, best shot you got at being healthy is to be as in control of the cultivating process as you can while limiting the plethora of bad stuff that could potentially be, meaning what am I watering the shit with? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Or that's option one. Or option two, you can just mitigate as best you can, take your losses and go for convenience depending on how old you are and just roll with the punches and see. I mean, stop with the fast food, stop with the obvious ones and just limit the stuff that, if you can't prove it, but you know it ain't, you know what I mean? Stop buying the ice cream that says frozen dessert.
Yes.
And just, if you want ice cream, then get the regular ice cream that actually says ice cream and take your chances that it is what it says it is.
Yes.
Because if you don't, there is no other option. What are you going to do? You're going to fucking leave the country? Okay. Good luck.
Exactly.
I don't see that. And I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but what's the chances of that really happening? I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You ain't going to leave your family and friends. Motherfuckers don't want to leave their houses or neighborhoods because they're afraid of some number in front of their mortgage percentage rate, let alone leaving the fucking country. Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
and how do you think other countries are going to receive Americans right now?
Not good.
Is that by coincidence? No. Hell no. Is that Trump's fault? Probably. Because we've been talking about stopping motherfuckers from coming here, not leaving. But then again, half of Hollywood said they were going to leave and never come back if Trump was elected president. And wouldn't you know it, I see their new shows on Netflix all the fucking time.
And another part of that option, you could only do the best with what you've got. Do your best with what you've got. When, if you're not close to a local farm or farmer's market or you can't grow it yourself or you just don't want to, when you go to a grocery store, look for the Whole Foods. That at least they look like Whole Foods.
Again.
And the same thing, it is, you don't know, right? I see all these videos. I started going down a rabbit hole myself looking up. I just put food industry. I didn't put good or bad or anything else. I just put food industry into Instagram and I was looking at stuff. The way that they put like ground meat through things, I was like, well, I can't watch too much of that or I will never be able to eat it again. But a big, huge part of that is not just to watch what your options are, but watch what your kids' options are too. Because so much of this and a couple of those movie scenes and stuff you sent me yesterday referenced this a little bit. But so much of this ultra processed, disgusting junk that makes you sick from the inside out is marketed directly to kids. So you go to the grocery store and they're, oh, I want this. And they're pulling all these things off your shelf. And you're like, well, shit, my kid won't eat anything. So if he's going to eat this, at least he'll eat this. He'll have cereal for breakfast. He won't eat all the eggs, but he'll eat 3 bowls of cereal. Let's just get the cereal.
Yeah, the high fructose corn syrup.
Exactly. So, and that becomes a cycle then. Your kids grow up and listen, I grew up most of my childhood with a single dad. He worked a 9 to 5, had to commute an hour each way. He had to come home at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night to 3 girls who all had their own picky ways of eating. And we ate very largely from boxes. frozen meals, mashed potato flakes from a box, stopping at McDonald's on the way home. Like that's the food that I grew up eating. I mean, whole food was not typical for us outside of meat. But when I got older and realized like, oh shit, I really need to get my shit together or I'm gonna be obese like the family members I'm watching sick right now to this day, I've got to change something. And it was not easy to do that because I was so used to grabbing like the rice-a-roni, the hamburger helper, the frozen chicken nuggets. And that was so second nature to me and so easy to me that I didn't even know how to cook a chicken breast at 21 years old. I had to relearn all of that because I never learned it when I was younger, which is no fault of my dad or anybody else. He did the best that he could with what he had. But at the same time, now that I know better, I want my kids to see that real food is normal food.
Yeah.
That the stuff from the boxes is fun and it's cool every now and then and all that, but that's not normal.
I mean,
Because
again,
it becomes then a cycle.
you got to ask yourself, how deep down these holes are you willing to go? And can you pull yourself back out? Because I'll say it like this, again, from a business, if you think that this fucking world is free, you're fucking dead ass wrong. Okay. It's a business. Everything's a business because we have glorified money and justified it by putting in God we trust on that bill. Okay. Jeff Bezos, fucking quadrillion dictionaire. The motherfucker's got more money than who knows what, right? Is not politically aligned with either or both. He's an independent, but he'll donate to both parties, right? Tony Stark said, "You keep your friends rich and your enemies rich, and soon you'll find out which is which."
Yeah.
Age of Ultron, best line ever. Think about it. Think about that for a minute. That's Bezos up the ass, right? I'm talking about Whole Foods. Green Whole Foods sounds fantastic. You know who owns Whole Foods? Amazon. You know who owns Amazon? Bezos. Okay, so survival is no longer a necessity. It's a business opportunity. That's it. Okay, and the irony is, we can argue processed over whole, farm to table versus what was it? Optimization. We can argue that all day long. And it's hard to argue efficiency and optimization in a supply chain. Right? That makes sense. We're overpopulated. Yeah. That's for sure. I'm not saying let's go jab kids with made up shit like some people had wanted to do. That working out for you, right? But what do we know for sure? Okay, we can argue. I could make an argument for, I don't want to say unhealthy foods, but I get it. As a parent, you understand as a parent,
Yeah.
yo, if you're in a pinch, fine, cool, eat the shit, fine, whatever. Like, I would be willing to give the kids something just to shut them the fuck up if they're being assholes. Dude, I get it. Yes, 100%. Call me a hypocrite, fine. You know what? But I'm a parent who's living to survive another day. Okay? And as a parent, sometimes you're just trying to hang the fuck on till the next goddamn day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, so we can make the arguments for those things. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that that's the smartest decision, but that right there, that's a survival instinct to me. Okay? Now, and arguments can be made that make sense both ways, all the way down the line up to the quote unquote professionals and the doctors. All right? Which is a whole other fucking thing. But what arguments come from exercising? What can you control? You can control your exercise, right? What arguments come from? There's no optimization. There's no fancy labeling. It's just fucking hard. You know what arguments that I've always heard about exercising that have now, it's been hard and sweating and I can't, mental warfare and shit, which is what I've based my entire 17-year career on, what I based Commit Fit on, FitKit on, what I pounded into your fucking brain when you first joined on. was the mentality of here, the muscle between the ears, right? There's a reason for that. And right now, what is that argument turned into? What is the defense? Don't fat shame me. Ain't nobody fat shaming shit, you fat motherfucker. I ain't got a goddamn problem with it. Listen, you over here being big as fucking complaining just as goddamn big. Do something, then complain. Do something for a while. Be fucking patient. See the results. Don't see the results. Then assess and reanalyze and figure it the fuck out. Because you may be able to feed your kid a fucking chicken finger to shut him the fuck up from crying. But you can't do a quick fix like that to drop 40 pounds that took you 20 fucking some odd years to build the fuck on. If it's easy, it's probably fucking wrong. Saying that too since we met. That's been the saying for me since 2010, motherfuckers. Get off me with that bullshit.
No, but the last thing people want to look at is what they're eating. I mean, because of the convenience and because it's easy. They don't want to look at the fact that it's easy and convenient, which is what makes it wrong, which is what keeps them unhealthy, which is what keeps them.
I wouldn't say it's wrong because anytime you talk about food, okay, and you're way more on a nutritional tip than I am, right? Like for this reason, like I've had this shit diet my entire fucking life. For my birthday when I worked at Lifetime, my clients would bring me boxes of Skittles. When I bought my first house, it was a housewarming gift, bowls of Skittles. Like I don't give a fuck you, because you know why? I'm willing to throw it on right the fuck next to you, motherfucker. I ain't scared of you. Don't challenge my ass, right? So, is it wrong for it to be convenient? Not if you make it convenient. Like that's your choice, right? So if you, like what we were saying before, you get on some calisthenics, you do your body weight exercises. It is absolutely convenient. Wake your ass up, roll out of fucking bed, do 3 goddamn push-ups. That's convenient as fuck. You don't need equipment. All you need is a floor. And you don't even need a house. If you homeless, take your ass out your tent, go in the fucking grass and do some push-ups. That's convenient as fuck. It's not pleasant, but neither is taking it up the ass, and motherfuckers seem to love that shit.
Well, I more so mean convenient in like fast food is convenient. You can drive through on your way home and grab it. You know, people.
So you're talking results, the end result. You hungry? What's the solution? Get fast food. Fast result. Is that convenience a part of the long-term solution? No, it's not. Push-ups could be. Not convenient. I mean, that's convenient, not easy. There's a difference. You're sold the word convenient, right? You don't want to you don't want to go to the fucking crowded ass grocery stores to get shit. You want to go to the corner market, otherwise known as the what? Convenience store.
Yeah.
Don't let a 48-year-old drop some knowledge on your young ass.
Well, and food companies have done such a good job of selling convenience that people think cooking chicken is inconvenient.
It is.
Right?
It sucks.
It takes 5 seconds. You throw it on a cookie sheet, put it in the oven for 20 minutes. You're done.
So it's not 5 seconds. It's 20 minutes.
Yeah, but
what?
It takes 5 seconds.
And that's bland as fuck. Like, you got to. I mean, it takes time to cook. It's not convenient. I mean, it's it's making food. Why am I always faced with these choices? What do you think? You put yourself there. You know what I mean? I'm trying to fucking quit alcohol. Stop going to bars then, motherfucker. What did you think was going to happen? And again, none of it matters if you're good with it. If you're happy with it, do you, boo-boo. Do you.
Yeah.
This is how you want to have your life, then have your life that way. But it is nobody else's fault that you're there, number one, and your life, your responsibility. Right? Your life, your choice, right? What are solutions?
That's a very hard question to answer, considering that the problem is so big. You know, on a micro level in my own household, in my own life, and the way that I coach clients, it's that you just got to do the best with what you have in front of you.
Yes.
And you already know that just about anything that comes in a package is not it.
Which is everything.
Right. And that's a hard part, but if you are truly concerned about the way things are affecting your body, because then you get like, ooh, well, this makes me feel bloated, and now I have Hashimoto's and all these little bitty, itty bitty things that probably are directly related to food, even though you don't realize it. I bet you a lot. Most of the things that you are complaining about in that regard will subside if you stop eating the food in packages. It's boring as fuck. And it does require that you got to cook some things. It's not fun. But
That goes
when
back to
your
your meal prep.
body,
Because
right.
you're asking about
But
convenience.
yeah. I mean, and once you're done, the meal prep process is not convenient. Once it is prepped, it is extremely convenient.
Yes.
You don't ever have
Worth
to worry
it.
about
Would you
it.
say worth it?
100%
Yeah.
worth it.
Motherfuckers say the
500%
same
worth
shit.
it.
All y'all bitches with kids say the same shit about having kids. Every single one of y'all. I love my kid, die for my kid, live for my kid. But boy, you wasn't so fucking happy in them 9 months, were you? You may bitch and complain doing a jumping jack makes you pee-pee yourself, but it's worth it now that you got the end result because you put the motherfucking work in.
Mhm.
Didn't you? That shit ain't convenient. It was necessary.
Same thing. It is, if you want your body to feel better than it does right now, it is 100% necessary that you look
Yeah.
at what you're eating, knowing what you know about the food industry or what you just learned or whatever research you do outside of this, which
Yep.
you absolutely should do because the things that we say are never an end all be all. You've got to educate yourself alongside all the other things that you're getting this information
Except
from.
for stop bitching without action. Stop bitching without
Yes,
action.
that
And I
is
bitch all the
just-
time. All the time.
Yeah.
I complain all the fucking time. I don't give a fuck. You know when I'm not complaining and not bitching is when I'm doing something about it.
Yeah. If you want to feel better, then you have no other choice but then to look at what you're eating. And in this industry where things are that jacked up, the best option that you've got is at least eating regular food that you have to cook.
The confusing part is, again, rabbit holes.
Mhm.
I have found recently, I'd say within the last month or so, I've found that leaning into the trying to sift through the differences in what's real and what's not is where it gets tricky, because that's exactly how we got in this mess in the first place, is believing the wrong shit. But I have found that the weirder the page is on any platform, the more truth and usefulness comes from it. Okay? I follow a bunch of places. They always play the weird ass fucking music in the background like it's some spooky shit. And it looks totally like some hippie trippy ass motherfucker put it together. And some fucking weirdo who doesn't know anything about anything but somehow knows about nutrition puts these 12 things that they're not telling you. With the Twilight music in the background, Twilight Zone music in the background, not Twilight, the fucking shitty vampire movie, but you know, they make it weird, super fucking weird, right? Those are the ones I look at because when you look at what's being said, they're not wrong. Can it be argued? Sure. Like first 2 hours when you wake up, don't eat. Okay, I get why. I backtracked all the shit I've ever fucking known, and I can make a strong argument for that. I can argue both ways, of course, but then that's my decision to make based on the choices I've got. And then the first thing to consume is, you know, a tall glass of your filtered fucking water, right? With your pinch of Himalayan salt or whatever it is. Because salt is actually the good thing for you, not the sugar. But I was told growing up, salt is bad, salt is bad, salt is bad, salt is bad, salt is bad. Salt is the fucking salt of the earth. You never heard sugar of the earth, motherfucker, unless you're in Uptown. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's salt of the earth, motherfucker, for a reason. Again, if there's a saying behind it, pay attention. Okay? And the other thing is with those quote-unquote weird sites, I look at those and follow those pages because, one, they're consistent. And two, if they're weird, then that means they're caring more about their content than they do the delivery of it. I don't need some fucking influencer who just has a big ass and a six-pack to come fucking tell me how to do some shit. Right? Even the dudes. Like, I like the dudes that there's fitness influencers out there now that are taking a page out of my book and being all fuck this and fuck that about things, and that raw, edgy kind of thing is the new rage, and I've been like that since I swam out of my daddy's nut. This is being fucking real, okay? But I follow the movements, the exercises, and I know what works and what doesn't. You could tell right away what's the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is sexy exercises, which ones are just so like, oh my God, okay. Like if you train like this, if you see someone train like this, stay away. And they're like doing some fucking gymnastics, cyber sex, fucking weird ass move with a fucking toothpick, rubber band, and some goof off, talking about train your core like this, hanging upside down and shit, nothing out of your fucking nose. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like you fucking know, right? Well, we know because we've been experienced, not entitled, not educated, experienced. And it's the same shit with all this other. Fuck around and find out. There's a saying for that. There's a reason why that's there.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And you can easily apply that to food.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Look at that supersize me guy.
Yes. Well, fuck the scale. Fuck all of that. It's how you feel. Go on and eat that dumb shit. Week straight. See how you fucking feel.
But remember that documentary? That was part of it. Like, he was getting checked by doctors the whole time. And by the time he finished his, like, experiment, he was, like, clinically depressed and had never had an issue with, you know, mental state in that regard his whole life. And then all of a sudden he lives off McDonald's for a month or whatever it was. And he's literally clinically depressed.
Tobacco companies own the which foods? You sent that to me once.
Like all of them. I mean, Nabisco and Kraft were two big ones that were purchased by tobacco companies in like the 70s or 80s, 70s-ish, 60s, 70s, forever ago. Right when stuff started to go. So.
And it's right in front of your fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
What is the margarine or the butter extra? What is the supplement or replacement? I can't believe it's not butter or whatever it is. Yeah, probably because it's not, motherfucker. God damn. Shit.
That's such a good point.
Fuck out of here. Shit.
Oh, that's a great point.
I mean, what was the, like, see how you feel? And then take that same meal, put it in a fucking Tupperware and see if anything grows on it, any mold grows on it. I mean, if the fucking bacteria don't want no part of it, if the sherbet, I haven't bought fucking sherbet since. Yeah. That's not true. I have.
Did you eat the green?
Not every time, but I have, yes. You know why? Because fuck you. I also used to smoke, and what? Mm-hmm. What do I do? I'll fucking sit there and fast my ass for fucking 72 hours or whatever it is, and I go back and fucking kick my own ass and sweat and bludgeon everything out. Get on my fucking Fit Kit multivitamins and do the best I can with what I've got, like you said. Mm-hmm. But in that moment, do I crave it? And see, if I was craving this shit all the time, it'd be different. Now ask me how much Skittles have I had. I stopped all that shit. And you know what I noticed? Significant less aches and pains.
How about that?
I fucking hate it. I knew it all along, and I still ate it. But when I realized was that the ibuprofen and the Skittles were like two peas in a fucking pod. Now I'm not taking either.
Well, and you just said, I knew it was the problem. I kept doing it anyways.
Yeah.
We just said tobacco companies are the ones who bought the food companies who are creating the fucking Skittles. And what do people say about cigarettes? I know it's killing me slowly, but
I don't know. See, because there's a Landman, that show. Fucking love that show. He's got a Billy Bob's got a line in there that's talking about how everybody in 90-year-old motherfuckers doing an hour of Tai Chi, smoking a pack of Pall Malls, no problem. Same thing in Italy and other states. This is part of the TV show, right? But Billy Bob's always been one of those motherfuckers, so I kind of can get behind his character a bit. And if you look him up, and me being Filipino, I'm looking at these Asian countries. I've got friends that have been in the military and have served and have been in those countries, in Japan and whatever. And he's not wrong, at least not completely wrong. Okay, and you know what those countries don't have is processed fucking sugars. I'd be interested to see. Let's see the food list that is American-made food that's not allowed to be sold in other countries versus what is here.
Well. And that's just the thing. Like, we have Fruit Loops, they have Fruit Loops. Their ingredient list is totally different than ours.
3 fucking things. 2 things.
Exactly.
It's a fruit and a loop.
Yeah,
We've
I
got
mean,
shit you
I've
can't even
got,
fucking pronounce.
yeah, we've got clients. I've had several clients who go to Europe. They go to Italy, all over the place in Europe. And they always leave like, oh my God, I'm so scared for how much weight I'm gonna gain because I'm eating the pasta, I'm eating the pizza, I'm eating the croissants, I'm doing it all. I'm like, girl, you go.
Coming back healthy
And
as
they
fuck.
come back, yeah.
Shit.
And they come back and very often they have lost weight by the time they come back. Eating pizza, pasta, pastries. You live off pizza, pasta, and pastries here, and you're not losing weight.
But it's how you've been mentally programmed. You've been told subliminally what to think and believe, and you are the one, or you've been emotionally hooked and reeled into it, and then you made the connection to your logical process, and you made it fact. You made it fact.
So at this point, all you can do is recognize what those things are, where you've
Yeah.
kind of fallen into that.
Yeah.
And if you're in a place where you know that you need to change something to feel better, start there and do the best with what you got.
Yeah. Because it does get better. It does get easier.
It does get easier.
And that's the
And in
biggest
fact,
thing. Easy versus
it
convenience.
eventually becomes, it eventually becomes hard to eat the shit.
And the shit that you thought was once convenient, either A, isn't worth it, or B, is just not that easy anymore, or not that simple. And that's, good luck. Congratulations, because then you're starting to wake the fuck up a little bit.